Hey guys, this is a replay from me playing the IS3. I'm together with two buddies, Bram SD in the T34 and Foski in the LTTB. And we ended up in the tier 9 match, but only 3 tier 9s each side. And there's only one RT, so that's also really well on Halluf. So yeah, ready to make some fun. I always enjoy the IS3, so I'm definitely gonna enjoy him in this match. I prefer yeah, tier 9 matches because then there's more damage to be dealt. So just speed forward a little bit, because this is the boring part where I'm just gonna drive. I'm going to C2, kinda maybe an odd choice, considering that I don't have any gun oppression. But I noticed that there's a 5100 an Aufklaringspanzer on the position where I can shoot them without needing gun oppression. And if you're in a position where the WZ is, you can shoot at passing tanks, and that is really nice. In my opinion, that's also what somebody should do, because that makes it a hell of a lot easier to win this side. Sometimes auto aim can be really handy, especially if you go around corners with a tank like this. Took a damaging shot from the Aufklaringspanzer, but he's one shot now, and I still have lots of HP. So I moved on. There's only one RT, and this is kinda a lousy shot here. But I get revenge. He even misses for some reason. Somebody bounces at a large distance. Probably one of the tank destroyers. So there's we have some guys that are really doing well on A1, but they have some trouble with the M103 and T30 behind those guys. So I try to help the SWC here. I cannot really do anything because the object 416 really has a nice turret and front armor. He's side scraping there, so not much of use trying to shoot at that with normal AP. But they're just holding the map in A1. So since the Aufklaringspanzer is dead as well, and I can just go around, E50M tried to do something. He just killed the object 416 but took a huge amount of damage. So I decided to just go next to the T30 to shoot these guys in the ass. Of course I'm trying to keep this T30 in yeah, keep him there, because otherwise it could be nasty. Bram already told me that, so that's why I was looking at him. There was nothing much going on, but since he mentioned the T30, I was thinking that he was going for me, but he wasn't. So we just take him out because Foski is just right behind them with the WZ. And I figured that they were already done here, but the IS3 was still alive. Time for me to take him out. And then we're down to 3 tank destroyers. STA-1 that is in our base. A King Tiger that is somewhere also in the enemy base. And then they have RT, of course. So I'll just speed forward a little bit, because they're mostly in their base. we had a couple of tier 8s still defending the base, so well, the SA was no problem, he was on his own. And I'm standing next to the ISUs, where they were last spotted. The prototype is visible all the way in back, the side of his turret, so it's easy shot. And I lit up the ISU, and he gets shot by Artie. 1010 damage. That is insane, but he had probably a penetrating side shot. And here I make a mistake. Artie was aiming at me, and I take it really slow. Could have just jumped past the ISU and also maybe taken a shot, or maybe I would have missed it. So I thought it was over for a second, but the Artie was still alive. So I just managed to survive this battle. That was my only aim at the last part of the battle. And the battle was already over, a really quick battle. It was an ace tanker, I already had it, so that was not really a big deal, but it is an ace tanker worthy game. I got it ×2 of 4340, so it's pretty nice. Some little medals. More interesting is how much damage I dealt. 3387 in just a tier 9 match with 3 tier 9s on each side. And there were lots and lots of tier 8s, so I really stood out here, dealing so much damage. And even keeping so much of my HP until the last of the battle, where I made a small mistake with the ISU and the RT. So I made 5 kills. Unfortunately I couldn't get the ISU because it was killed by the Lowy standing in our base. So that was kinda unfortunate, but shit happens. And still, base experience of 1447, so that's really great. I fired 12 times, I missed 1 shell, I penetrated 10 out of 11, and that got me the 3387 damage. It's a bit lower than I could have had, but that's also because I finished off the T30 with 200 something HP and the 5100 200 something HP, so normally it would have been higher, but I had to finish off these critical targets. Next to that, I also got more than 2000 damage on assisting. That's due to the ISU getting so much damage, the Lowy killing the last ISU, also well, really some other targets that I might have spotted, maybe even, or detracked, that's more likely. And it's really comparable to the video of my T34, and that's exactly the reason why I don't like to play the T34 that much, because of course I earned so much more credits with the T34 compared to this game, and this game was much better than the T34 game that you might have seen in my other video. But the tank itself is so much better, it's faster. The reload speed is yeah, almost 2 seconds shorter. That's a huge deal. And also the aiming time is a bit less, or at least comparable. So there's so much advantage over the T34. And of course, as you might know already, and otherwise you'll know it right now, that tier 8 premiums and premiums overall are mostly as good as like a stock or a medium stock equivalent of the tank. And in this case, of course, a maxed out IS3 is better than a T34. So there's a difference, but still, yeah, you might get me if I tell you that I like to play my IS3 more than the T34 just because it is faster, it shoots faster, etc., etc. But enough about that part. This was just a really good game of the IS3, showing, well, what you can do with it, even in a map like Halluf, in a tank like the IS3 that doesn't have any good gun repression. So, well, just use your speed, mobility, take advantage over targets that are not looking at you, and just help out your team and maximize your damage output. And that's really important with the IS3, and that makes you win games. And believe me, I know it because I've played almost 95% of the games in my IS3 in publics, and I've won more than 81%. So that says something about this tank and the way I play it. So hopefully you find this video about the IS3 informative. Hopefully you found the video fun to watch if you already know how to play it, or just wanted to see a video of my channel. Well, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then please join the family, and hopefully I'll see you next time in my other videos.